Previously on Bear Adventures. If on tails it lands, they would drive home. But if it lands on heads, on another ship, they would roam. Spoiler alert. They drove 3 hours to Fort Lauderdale to get on the Disney Dream. That crazy coin. Anyway, they arrived in Fort Lauderdale at the Disney Terminal Sublime. It makes the Port Canaveral Wish Terminal look like it got left back in time. Melissa, Brian, and Bahama Mamas made their way on their second ship in mere hours. As they were announced, taking in the full measure, the ship's grandeur took all of their mental powers.
Disney Dream leads on with Holton Curie family.
Thank you.
For lunch, you guessed it, scrumptious muffaletas on ship number 2. Then it was on to the stateroom to see if the accommodations would do. Just like on the Wish, the Dream's cabin had 2 hidden beds, a Murphy in the wall, and a fold-out in the couch for the mamas to lay their heads. Of course, the room was stunning, classy, and clean as a whistle. Then they got ready for the sail-away party on deck, just as soon as the muster drill dismissal. Tragedy struck as the heavens opened up and the stormy clouds cried, the sail-away party was cancelled due to rain. Well, not really, just moved inside. The cast members made the most of the gloomy sail-away day, reassuring the guests that no matter the weather, it would all be okay. The fake indoor horn was not quite the same as the real thing on deck, but I suppose it's better than standing in the rain, a soaking wreck. For dinner, an embarkation menu at Animator's Palette, it's true. The Disney and Pixar art adorned the walls, reminding all of the magic the movies can do. first morning came swiftly as the quartet of adventurers again pulled into Castaway Cay. But one sailor was down for the count as Melissa woke up feeling a bit blinky. She stayed in bed while selflessly insisting the others have sit-down breakfast. They brought her a medicinal Mickey waffle and a fancy Minnie Mouse latte, hoping she would soon feel her bestest. So as a trio, Brian and the two moms set foot on the island shore. Their goal: head to adults only Serenity Bay, a quiet, secluded beach. Who could ask for more? Actually, the beach was quite rocky, and each step in the surf hurt their feet. They pretty much left as quickly as they came, deciding to get something to eat. Back at the infirmary, Melissa was doing much better. She was eating soup and blowing bubbles, and all were pleased that back into the group they could get her. When dinner rolled around, they gathered in Enchanted Garden on deck 2. It's perhaps the most beautiful, whimsical restaurant on board, with a spectacular botanical view. Their server for these 5 nights was John, a delightful and kind-hearted soul. This was his very first cruise as a server, and providing perfection was his goal. The family enjoyed seeing him each night, keeping his rookie status hush-hush. His confidence grew, and over his personality and earnestness, they began to gush. The Enchanted Garden has a magic ceiling as well. As the dinner goes on, daylight fades and shadows swell. Was show number 1, a montage production of Disney hits. With appearances by Snow White, Baloo and Cruella de Vil, it was an all-out nostalgia blitz. Oh, hi, Tiana. Can Melissa take a selfie? Brian and Melissa frequently filled water bottles to stay hydrated and reduce swelling in their feet some. This night, they took a short break and enjoyed a starlit, cheeky piece of pizza. The sun rose early yet again, coaxing our heroes to climb out of bed. They had another date with princesses, including one with hair of red. Ariel was kind, jabbering up a storm. Tiana was observant, recognizing Melissa from the selfie before. Rapunzel again showed off her long golden braids, and Belle once again had elegance in spades. Melissa met Mulan, who taught her best warrior pose. They spied Minnie prancing around on deck, wearing her classic polka-dotted clothes. Brian ran down to meet Goofy and get his signature for their autograph board. Then Donald did the same, adding a bonus giant signature on back that refuses to be ignored. Next, they grabbed their pencils and took a class on how to draw Captain Minnie. Their work turned out pretty decent, actually, even if a few elements of her face are a bit skinny. As a follow-up, they drew Goofy in Pub 687, seeing if their skills improved. Not really, they discovered. So on to the next activity they moved. They tried trivia again, doing better than you'd expect at the sports theme. Then they shuffled off to the D Lounge to take another stab at their trivia championship dream. They answered Disney music trivia, and as the scores were tallied, excitement began to build at their table, and their spirits were rallied. 36 out of 40, it was good enough for the Mickey medal and the win. These four elated competitors could do absolutely nothing but smile and grin. They dined at Royal Palace that night, still riding the trivia win high, the restaurant's sophistication and refinement no one dared deny. The second show, Disney Dreams, was adorable, they must admit. And if you're poo-sized, look for comfy chairs on the side balcony boxes in which you can sit. A wee bit of shopping to snag a memento of their time on the Dream. They had everything you could imagine, from mugs to ears to diamonds that gleam. They really do have quite the gifting and shopping selection. And of course, Melissa had to add to her growing Disney pin collection. As the clock ticked late, it was time once again for random gifting, a Disney cruising must. They hope their fellow cruisers enjoyed the duck and Mad Libs, just a little bit of pixie dust. As they opened their eyes the next morn, a new tropical paradise drew near. It was Disney's Lookout Cay at Lighthouse Point, at the end of that long and arcing pier. The pier to Lookout is a half-mile and feels longer, I must say, stretching out in the Bahamian sun over crystal waves spray. But if Disney's goal was to preserve the teeming reefs of coral, building the super-long, non-invasive pier was the only choice to be moral. DCL offers golf carts if you can't make it on your own to shore. But with persistence and a few bench breaks, there's paradise in store. Perched on the southern tip of the Isle of Eleuthera, the destination brims with culture and flair. It's the ideal place to rest and soak up the sun, as if you haven't got a single worldly care. The flora had grown in nicely since the Bear Adventure visit last year, and the photo ops were stunning, causing smiles from mini ear to mini ear. They took pics with Mickey, Minnie, Donald and Daisy, all in their Bahamian clothes. They used lots of sunscreen so as not to get a dreadful sunburnt nose. Our heroes relished the junk canoe parade, dazzled by the colors and the sound. They will always turn their heads when that festive party rolls around. Their revelry included an unexpected song on their way. Can you identify the surprise John Williams march that they play? were absolutely stunning, the clearest and bluest blue, at which no one can scoff. But the waves were a bit wavy this day. And there's a possibility Brian's shorts may have washed off. Though it wasn't the ideal swimming conditions, they still splashed with joy and song. Oh, and Melissa swam by a barracuda measuring a whopping 4 feet long. A passerby reassured her all was well with no reason to fuss. "It's okay," he promised. "They don't eat big fish like us." Everyone was tired after the taxing gauntlet back to the Dream, so they skipped pirate night, except for one quick pirate trivia scheme. It's a good thing they tried, even though there was fear they could fail. They walked away as a 2-time winner, this medallion bearing Chip and Dale. Final morning of the trip, a tradition like none other. They trekked to Cabana's buffet for Mickey Churro Waffles' brother. Can we talk for a minute about the Disney Cruise hash browns? These things are incredible and take the all-time breakfast potato crown. How are they so yummy, so hot and so crispy? It's enough to make any carb lover's eyes go all misty. They were on a trivia roll, so they attempted a Disney Cruise Line quiz. They really should have gone 3 for 3, but a scoring mishap caused those hopes to fizz. Following that was cruise crafts and learning to draw Mickey Mouse. They were accumulating so many works of art, they'll be able to decorate a whole house. Melissa's mum finally met Daisy in her stunning Disney cruise frock, her fashion sense and eye for style. No person or duck alive can knock. And with Daisy's name signed, their autograph board was complete. Signatures of Disney legends, everyone you could ever hope to meet. Foursome's final dinner was back at Animator's Palette on Deck 3. The screens came alive with Nemo, Dory, and Crush, the turtle, all the critters of the sea. spoke their last to John and his assistant July, the family knew there was one more thing they must do before they could say goodbye. They had all the signatures of everyone important on board. So, they told their servers, that means we must also have yours. Take on the classic tale, Beauty and the Beast was their final show. The sets and actors were stellar, truly. The audience's minds, they did blow. Melissa and Brian took a dip in the adults-only pool before it was too late. If they had to stay in that quiet, secluded and heated pool forever, well, they'd just accept their fate. They said goodbye to Mickey and the gang. It was a perfect way to end the cruise. And they went out with a bang.
Let's hear it for
Mickey! Weary but refreshed, the adventurers stumbled off the dream, lost in the Disney cruise days, knowing it would be long before they could come back, unless they both soon get a substantial pay raise. So the crew started the journey to the heartland, back to home, its peace and calm. They dropped off Brian's mother at the airport. Everyone say, "Be safety, Brian's mom." The cruises were over, and the vacation had sailed into the sunset. The memories made with the Bahama mamas are moments Brian and Melissa will never forget.